Ever wonder if you're truly meant to be with someone? What if the universe is trying to tell you something about your relationship? Let's find out together. Hit that like button and subscribe, because in today's video, we're going to dive into the signs the universe might send when you're not meant to be with someone. And trust me, this isn't your typical dating advice. We're mixing the timeless wisdom of Carl Jung with Stoic philosophy to help you navigate relationships with clarity and confidence. Welcome back to the channel, where we bring you dating advice like you've never heard before. If your previous relationship failed, or if things seem to be falling apart, don't worry. The universe has a funny way of guiding us to exactly where we need to be. Think of those bumps in the road as opportunities for growth, not signs of failure. The universe takes what's broken and turns it into something better, helping us align with the right path. Picture this. You're on a journey, and while the road gets bumpy at times, those twists and turns are exactly what will lead you to where you're meant to go. Think of the signs the universe sends as your compass, guiding you toward what's best for you, even if it doesn't seem clear at first. So if you're wondering whether you're meant to be with someone, trust that the signs are out there. Here's a fun affirmation for you to try today. I trust the signs. Write it in the comments, show it to him, show it to the universe, and most importantly, show it to yourself. Stick around, because what's coming next will help you understand how to spot those signs and trust your journey even more. Number 1. The unspoken disconnect, when communication feels off. Imagine this. You're trying to tune a guitar, but no matter how much you twist the strings, they just won't align. Frustrating, right? That's exactly what it feels like when communication in a relationship is off. If you're constantly missing each other's signals, if every conversation feels like a struggle to understand one another, that might just be the universe's way of telling you something isn't right. It's like the strings of your connection are out of tune, and no matter how hard you try, the music just won't sound sweet. Now, Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, believed that our unconscious minds communicate with us through symbols and feelings. When things feel off in your relationship, when the communication keeps breaking down, it's a signal from your subconscious. It's like the universe whispering, "Hey, something isn't in alignment here." Jung would tell us to listen to those whispers, because they often carry the truth we need to hear. Here's the thing. Good communication in a relationship should feel natural. You should be able to share your thoughts, feelings, and even your silences without it feeling like a game of telephone. But if you're constantly misinterpreting each other, getting defensive, or just not hearing each other, that's a major red flag. It's the universe's way of telling you that maybe, just maybe, you're not on the same wavelength. And that's okay. Not every relationship is meant to go the distance, and sometimes the universe is just nudging you to listen to the signals it's sending. So, what can you do? Pay attention to those little moments of misunderstanding. Think back to your conversations over the past few weeks. Were there moments where you both just weren't connecting? Were there things you said that felt like they went unheard? These are the moments you want to reflect on. If these instances keep happening, take a step back and ask yourself, are we truly on the same page here? Here's your affirmation for today. I listen to the signs and trust the flow. Say it out loud and feel the power of acknowledging the signals in your relationship. Trust the process and know that when things don't align, the universe is giving you the clarity you need. Stick around, because up next, we'll dive into what happens when drama takes over and how to find calm in the chaos. Number 2. Constant drama, emotional turmoil versus calmness. Imagine this. Love should feel like a river, gently flowing with moments of calm and excitement. But sometimes it feels more like a storm, chaotic, unpredictable, and overwhelming. If every conversation in your relationship turns into an argument, and every interaction feels like you're caught in a whirlwind of emotions, it might be the universe sending you a message. Something isn't right, and you're not supposed to be in this emotional storm. Now, let's talk about Stoicism for a second. The Stoics, great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, taught us the importance of staying calm in the face of adversity. They believed that life throws challenges our way, but how we respond is what matters most. If you find yourself constantly caught in emotional turmoil, if every day feels like you're battling a storm, ask yourself, is this how love is supposed to feel? Relationships should not be a constant struggle. Sure, there will be moments of tension or disagreements, but they shouldn't be the norm. True love, like a river, should have its natural ebbs and flows, but it should never feel like you're drowning in it. Let me ask you to reflect on a real-life example. Have you ever been in a relationship full of drama? Every argument seemed bigger than the last, and every conversation felt like a battleground. Maybe you were constantly on edge, never knowing when the next emotional storm would hit. When you look back, did you feel more stressed than happy? That's your first clue that the relationship might not be aligned with what you truly need. Here's some actionable advice. Cultivate peace within yourself. The next time you feel the storm brewing, pause. Take a step back and ask yourself if this emotional chaos is worth it. If your relationship constantly drags you into conflict and turmoil, it might be time to listen to what the universe is telling you. Maybe it's time to find the calm you deserve. The universe is always nudging us toward peace, growth, and the right kind of love. Here's your affirmation for today. I choose peace over chaos. Say it out loud, let it resonate within you, and remember, love is meant to flow, not overwhelm. If things feel like a storm, the universe might just be telling you to let go and move toward calmer waters. Stick around, because next we'll dive into how to recognize when you're losing yourself in a relationship. Number 3. Losing sight of yourself. The eclipse of your true self. Imagine this. You're trying to walk in someone else's shoes. At first, it might seem like a fun challenge, but eventually, your feet start to hurt. It's uncomfortable. You're not in your element anymore. That's exactly what it feels like when you lose sight of who you are in a relationship. You start morphing into someone else, maybe to please your partner or avoid conflict. And before you know it, you've lost touch with your true self. The universe is trying to nudge you toward growth, but that might mean doing it without the person you're with right now. Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, talked a lot about individuation, the process of becoming your true self. For Jung, this was essential. He believed that we all have an inner essence, a core of who we truly are, and that we must honor and express that in our lives. If you find yourself changing your preferences, hobbies, or even your personality to match your partner's, that's a huge red flag. Jung would say you're in danger of losing your sense of self. And if you don't know who you are anymore, how can you be in a healthy relationship? Let me give you a real-life example. Have you ever caught yourself doing something you don't enjoy just because your partner loves it? Maybe you're suddenly binge-watching a show you don't care about, or you start saying you love a certain food just because it's their favorite. It might seem harmless at first, but it's a sign that you're bending your identity to fit theirs. That's when the universe starts sending those subtle red flags. When you change yourself to meet someone else's expectations, you're not honoring your true essence. So here's some actionable advice. Take a step back. Ask yourself, who am I outside of this relationship? If you can't answer that question, it's time to reconnect with yourself. Spend time doing the things you love, whether it's painting, running, reading, or simply hanging out with your friends. Reclaim your sense of self. When you do, you'll be in a better place to evaluate if the relationship is truly serving your growth. Here's your affirmation for today. I am true to myself. Say it out loud and feel the power in those words. Remember, honoring your true self is the foundation of any strong, healthy relationship. And stick around, because coming up next, we'll explore how to know if your future with someone is truly aligned or if you're heading in opposite directions. Number 4. The future feels uncertain. The lack of long-term vision. Picture this. You're driving a car, but there's no map or GPS to guide you. The road ahead is unclear, and every turn feels uncertain. That's exactly what a relationship without a shared vision feels like. A journey with no clear destination. If you and your partner are on different paths for the future, that could be a major sign from the universe that you're not meant to travel together. The Stoics, wise thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, believed that having a clear sense of purpose was key to navigating life's challenges. They taught that without purpose, we drift aimlessly. The same applies to relationships. If you don't share a vision for the future, the relationship is bound to lose its way. Imagine trying to navigate through life without a destination in mind. You might get somewhere, but is it where you really want to be? If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to end up somewhere you don't want to be. Let's look at a real-life example. Have you ever had one of those tough conversations with your partner where one of you wants kids but the other doesn't? Or maybe one of you dreams of living in the hustle and bustle of the city while the other wants a peaceful life in the countryside. These are classic signs that you might not be heading in the same direction. And while these differences don't make either person wrong, they are a wake-up call that your futures may not align. The universe could be nudging you to take a hard look at whether you're truly on the same path. Here's the actionable advice. Start having those tough conversations about your long-term goals. It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day, but you need to make sure your visions for the future align. If you're heading in opposite directions, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. It's better to know sooner rather than later. Here's your affirmation for today. My future is clear, and I walk toward it with purpose. Say it out loud and feel empowered. Remember, clarity about the future is key to building a strong, lasting relationship. Stick around, because next, we'll explore the power of trusting your gut when something doesn't feel right. Number 5. Trusting your gut. The subtle intuition. Your gut feeling is like your internal GPS. It's always there, guiding you, even when you can't see the road ahead. Think of it like this. When you're driving, the GPS quietly helps you navigate, making sure you don't take the wrong turn. The same goes for your intuition in relationships. Sometimes the universe doesn't send loud signs. Instead, it sends quiet whispers through your gut. You might not have all the answers right away, but that uneasy feeling you get when something's off is your internal compass telling you that things aren't quite right. Carl Jung, the brilliant psychologist, believed deeply in the power of the unconscious mind. He argued that we are constantly receiving messages from our deeper selves, and when something feels off, it's not a coincidence. It's your unconscious mind trying to get your attention, sending subtle cues about the truth of your situation. So when your gut is speaking to you, Jung would say, it's worth paying attention. Here's the thing. We've all had that experience. You might be having a normal conversation, or everything might seem fine on the surface, but deep down, something doesn't sit right. Maybe you feel that knot in your stomach, a sense of unease, or a little voice whispering that something's not adding up. That's your intuition guiding you. It's like an inner alarm system, alerting you when things don't match your true values or your sense of self. You don't always need to figure out why you feel uneasy right away. Just trust that the feeling itself is trying to tell you something important. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you're out with someone, and even though everything seems okay, you feel this subtle tension in the pit of your stomach. Maybe your partner says something that doesn't quite line up with what you know about them, or maybe they just act distant. At first, you might dismiss it as nothing, but that feeling sticks with you. The next time something like this happens, pay attention to it. It's your gut telling you to reflect, to dig deeper, and to question what's really going on. So, here's the actionable advice. Trust those gut feelings. They are your inner wisdom, guiding you toward clarity. If you feel uneasy, take some time to reflect on what's causing that discomfort. What are the specific things that are making you feel this way? Don't ignore it. This is the universe sending you a quiet but powerful signal. Here's your affirmation for today. I trust my intuition, and it guides me toward what's best. Say it out loud and believe in your ability to listen to the subtle signs the universe sends. Trust your gut. It's your most reliable guide on this journey. And stay tuned, because next we'll dive into the repeating patterns in relationships and how to break free from them. Number 6. Patterns of repetition. When history repeats itself. It's like trying to break free from a loop that keeps playing the same song over and over again. No matter how many times you hit pause or skip, the same melody comes back, and you're stuck in that cycle. In relationships, those repeating patterns are like that never-ending song. Issues keep resurfacing, unresolved, and you find yourself caught in a loop that just won't end. If you notice this pattern of unhealthy behavior repeating over and over, it's the universe sending you a very clear message. It's time to break free. Carl Jung believed that in order to move forward, we have to confront our past. This isn't just about personal history, but also about the patterns we fall into, often unconsciously. If the same problems, the same fights, the same emotional triggers keep arising in your relationship, it's a sign that you're stuck in a loop. You're not growing, and neither is the relationship. You might feel like you're going in circles, but nothing is really changing. That's your cue to pay attention, because the universe is trying to get you to break this cycle. Let's think about a real-life example. Imagine you and your partner keep having the same argument over and over again. Maybe it's about something small, like how often you communicate, or something bigger, like trust issues. Each time, you get into the same pattern. Emotions flare up, Words are said, and afterward you feel like you've made no progress. You might apologize, or they might, but the issue remains unresolved. This is the universe's way of telling you that you're stuck. If you keep running into the same problem without finding a solution, it's a clear sign that the relationship isn't moving forward. So, what do you do about it? Reflect on those past arguments and patterns. What are the recurring issues? What do they reveal about your relationship? If the same problems keep coming up without any resolution, it's time to either change the dynamic or walk away. You can't keep repeating the same patterns and expect a different result. Whether that means having an honest conversation, setting boundaries, or letting go of the relationship altogether, the universe is asking you to break free from that loop. Here's your affirmation for today. I am breaking free from old patterns and creating new growth. Say it out loud and let it sink in. You have the power to change the course of your relationship by breaking those repetitive cycles. And stay tuned, because next we'll talk about how to assess if the relationship is truly meant for the long haul or if it's time to move on. Number 7. The feeling of this is just too hard. Imagine this. Love shouldn't feel like pushing a boulder uphill. It should flow naturally like a gentle stream, carrying you both forward. But if every moment in the relationship feels like a constant uphill battle, like you're struggling just to make things work, that's a huge red flag. The universe might be showing you that you're not meant to be together, and it's time to let that boulder roll down the hill. Here's the thing. Relationships take effort. It's natural to put work into something you care about, and sometimes you'll face challenges. But if it feels like every conversation, every moment, and every decision is a fight, it's a sign that you're swimming against the current. Stoicism teaches us that things should flow naturally. According to the Stoics, life doesn't have to be an endless struggle. When you're forcing everything, it's an indication that something is out of alignment. Love is meant to bring peace, joy, and growth, not constant struggle. Let's think about a real-life example. Have you ever felt like you were doing all the work in the relationship? Maybe you were always the one making plans, having tough conversations, or putting in emotional energy, while your partner barely made an effort. If this feels familiar, it's a huge red flag. You might find yourself thinking, why am I the only one trying? The universe could be nudging you to pay attention to this imbalance. If you're carrying all the weight, it's time to evaluate if this relationship is giving you the support and partnership you need. Here's some actionable advice. Assess how much effort both of you are putting into the relationship. Are you both investing the same amount of time, energy, and care? If it feels like a constant struggle and you're the only one pushing that boulder up the hill, it might be time to rethink things. Relationships should feel like a partnership, not a battle. If you're not both equally committed, it could be a sign that this is not the right relationship for you. Here's your affirmation for today. I deserve a relationship that flows with ease. Say it out loud and let it sink in. You're worthy of love that feels natural and harmonious, not forced and exhausting. Remember, the universe is always guiding you, and if things feel too hard, it might be time to let go. Stick around, because next we'll explore how to trust the process of letting go and embracing what's best for you. Number 8. The power of letting go, trusting the universe. Letting go is like opening your hand. Sometimes you have to release something to make room for something better. Think about it. If you're holding tightly to something that's no longer serving you, You can't receive what's meant to come next. Letting go can be tough, especially in relationships, but it's often the universe's way of making space for new opportunities, growth, and even better connections. It's like decluttering your home. You can't fill it with new, beautiful things if it's already packed with stuff that doesn't fit. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He believed that the process of letting go is not just about loss, but about personal growth. When you trust the universe and let go of what's no longer serving you, you open yourself up to new experiences, new connections, and new chapters in your life. It's like stepping through a door that the universe is gently nudging you toward, even if you're hesitant. Jung saw this as part of the individuation process, becoming the fullest version of yourself by shedding what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Let's look at a real-life example. Have you ever had to let go of something even though it was incredibly hard at the time? Maybe it was a job that wasn't fulfilling, or perhaps a relationship that you thought was everything. In the moment, it felt like a loss, like you were letting go of something irreplaceable. But when you look back, you realize that letting go made space for something even better, whether that was a more fulfilling career, a deeper connection with yourself, or a relationship that truly nourished you. That act of release was the universe's way of guiding you to something greater. Here's the actionable advice. If you're holding on to a relationship that doesn't feel right, trust that the universe is guiding you towards something more aligned with your true self. It's not always easy, and it doesn't always make sense at first, but the more you trust the process, the more you'll see how the universe works in your favor. Here's your affirmation for today. I trust the process of letting go, knowing it leads to what's best for me. Say it out loud and feel the weight lift as you release what's no longer serving you. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about making space for the love, peace, and growth that the universe has in store for you. And stay tuned, because in the next video, we'll dive into how to truly embrace your growth and attract the love you deserve. As we wrap up today's video, remember that trusting the universe, paying attention to the signs, and letting go when necessary are all part of your journey to finding the right love. If something feels off, it's often the universe nudging you towards something better, even if it's hard to see in the moment. Trust yourself, trust the process, and know that you deserve a relationship that aligns with your true self. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might need these reminders too. Let's keep growing together.